Hello and welcome back to Bits and Bobs. Today I'll be showing you my entire collection of King George III coins, my George III coinage in its entirety. We'll start with the lower denominations, these small farthings and copper coins, and move our way up to the silver coins of larger denomination, the half crown and the crown. So, let's get into these lovely Georgian coins. So here is my oldest farthing of George III. We see his right-facing bust there with a laureate in his hair, although the portrait is quite worn. This one is from 17, and it has the other way rotation, but it's from 1775. Very, very old coin and very, very worn as well. I do quite like the design, although it has been quite worn, as I said. The next and the last farthing of George III here is this one. This is a later issue coin with a slightly different design on both sides. And we can see now the date here on the obverse, 1799. So still in the 1700s. We have a legend around this coin and another portrait of the king. Still facing to the right, and this time a smaller portrait within the coin, where the laureate there in his hair, if you can look very closely despite the wear. A bit of a thicker coin there with some edge milling on this one, we can see some reeded edge. And then onto the reverse, we can see here the lovely design of Lady Britannia. This one has the denomination underneath. The word farthing there is very visible, although it's quite hard to read, but you can definitely see a word there which says farthing, giving the denomination. And again, Britannia with the leaves which have been kind of rubbed out, the trident and the shield facing to the left, and the word Britannia around the top. A lovely old coin with some great history. And now we'll move up a denomination onto the halfpennies. I've got lots of halfpennies, let's go through them in date order. The oldest of my George III halfpennies is this one here. We see a younger portrait of the king, Georgius III Rex, King George III. The portrait here of the laureate in his hair once again, on a bigger coin of course now. The oldest one is from 1772. Over 250 years old. A much bigger size coin, quite thick as well, than the halfpennies of more modern times before they're eventually demonetized. They're very small by the end. That's the first one, 1772. I then have another one here with the same portrait on the obverse. Quite nice condition for this coin. This one is from 1773 and in pretty nice condition for, again, 250 years old, this coin. We can see all the details there with Britannia, the leaves, the staff, the shield facing to the left, and the date there very clearly, 1773, 250 years ago. A great, great coin. I then have two halfpennies from the year 1775, we can see here. The one to the left is a darker toned coin, which is more worn, and to the right, a lighter toned coin in better condition. The obverse is the same for both of them. This one's a bit darker toned, with more wear to it, as we can see there. Again, George III though. And this one is quite nice condition as well. We can even see some of the detail in the clothing of King George III there at the bottom. So overall, both very nice coins. This one has a milling intact as well, which is pretty cool for 1775 coins. As I say, very, very old coins as well. I then have this one, a very, very worn halfpenny of the same type with this same portrait of the king there. Again, very worn, and the date on this one isn't very visible. I think that might be 1777. I think it is 1777, but please do comment down below if you think that might be a different date or a different year on this coin. This is a different type of halfpenny, a different sort, a different style of coin. It is a bit bigger, with a much thicker edge and therefore a heavier coin. This one is from 1799 and was only minted in that 1 year of 1799. We can see some C there, below Britannia curved, the shield, the trident there, and the leaves in Britannia's hand as well, with the word Britannia around the top. And moving on to the obverse, a new or slightly different portrait of King George III. This one has more of his shoulders cut off, with just a bit of draped clothing on his neck. We then have the laureate in his hair still, and facing to the right as well, with the legend now extended reading Georgius III de gratia Rex, meaning George III, by the grace of God, being the addition for this coin. A very, very nice coin from the 18th century still. Very cool. This is a real, real beauty of a coin. Compared to what we've just seen, you can tell this one is straight away a really, really special piece. Look at the hair of the king, all the details still in the hair, the laureate. His nose isn't just sort of like a blob in his face. It's actually got the detail of the eyes, the eyelids, the eyebrows, his chin, his mouth, all the detail of his clothes around here, every single bead or milling around the edge, the rim, the legend, everything on the obverse is in very, very nice condition, as is the reverse. We can see here, Lady Britannia, now giving us a great look at this design in all of its mint glory. The word Soho there, because it's made of the Soho mint. There's a boat to the left there in the ocean. We've got the shield and trident and stuff as well, and a left-facing Britannia now on this coin, swapping sides from earlier ones. With all the edge milling as well, being intact, we can see there, meaning no one has shaved this coin throughout its history. This is a very, very nice piece of Georgian copper. Last George III halfpenny I have is this one here, with the same design on the reverse, a bit more worn than the one we've just seen. This one from 1807, as we can see there. The legend around as well. I have two George III pennies which I will show you now. The first type is the cartwheel penny, as we see here. Named that because of the sort of outside rim looking a bit like the wheel of a cart at the time. We have a new portrait for this video of George III, facing to the right, with the legend around it on the edge of that cartwheel bit. It says George vs 3 DG Rex, the same legend, King George III by the grace of God. Now this coin is known for being the biggest penny to ever circulate. It weighs 1 ounce of pure copper and is very, very thick, as we can see here. A very big coin to use in circulation. And we have a new portrait of Britannia here, but the usual features of the trident, the shield, and the leaves, if you could see there. This one's quite a worn, battered coin, as most of them are due to their big size. If it dropped, so that the weight and the momentum would have made it quite damageable very easily with the malleable copper it is made out of. The cartwheel penny was only minted in 1 year. You may be able to see it from the coin there, but it is 1797. So a nice coin from the 1700s. And the second type of penny is here. Quite nice condition actually for this coin. We have an 1806 Georgius III. There is a hole, DG Rex. So it's a bit dirty and there is a hole, but apart from that, the actual condition, there's not much wear on the coin. We can see that portrait again. Very nice condition with the date on the obverse. And this portrait of Britannia that we've seen before, but of course just now on a bigger coin in nicer quality than the ones we've seen before as well. We can see the boat there, very, very small detail of the boat, and the Soho again there. There's the hole there just below Britannia on this coin, but very nice indeed, with edge milling there, unlike the cartwheel one where it doesn't have any edge milling. Final copper coin of King George III's reign is this one. This beautiful, beautiful cartwheel 2p, the largest coin to ever circulate within the United Kingdom. This is 2 ounces of pure copper. Very, very chunky, big coin, as we can see, with a lovely design on both sides and a great feel to it. It just has a great feel, unlike any other smaller coin. We have the legend again there, as we've seen, and this portrait giving us a very good look at the detail and sculpture that went into this bust of King George III. Very, very nice. Draped clothing and a laureate. And again, this Britannia portrait here on the reverse, and we can now clearly see the date 1797 when the cartwheel coinage was struck. A lovely, lovely coin, and actually this cartwheel 2p is one of my favourite coins in my collection. I really do treasure this piece of history as a lovely big coin. And now for the silver coins of King George III. My lowest denomination silver coin is the 6p piece, of which I only have 1. Here it is. But still a beautiful coin, although it does have a hole. We have a lovely, lovely design here, a Hanoverian shield crowned within the royal court-of-arms shield, also crowned with the garter surrounding. A lovely, lovely design on this 6p. We've got nice milling on the edge there, and this coin is from 1817, one of the first years they made these new modern 6p. We have a new portrait of the king, a more rounded shaped head, but still with a laureate in his hair, and an extended legend here reading Jaw 3 DG Brit Rex FD, heavily abbreviated for basically translating George III by the grace of God, King of Britain, Defender of the Faith. A lovely, lovely 6p piece to add to my date run and collection. And this is of course sterling silver, as all George III silver coins will be. Moving up 1 denomination to the shillings, I have 2 George III shillings. The first one is this one right here. This is a very darkened coin with lots of dirt in it. It does actually have the same design as the 6p we've just seen, but is of course enlarged to the shilling of double the weight. A very, very nice design, but it is buried between the wear and the dirt. And this coin is from the same year at 1817, one of the first years again of these modern shillings. The next George III shilling I have is a little bit later, from 1819, but still has this same design, and this one is holed, as we can see here. I don't have very many good quality George III silver coins of the lower denominations, but this one can be seen a bit better. We can see the date there, 1819, the same legend and same portrait as on that 6p, and a very, very nice coin again. 2 sterling silver George III shillings. Very nice. The next denomination of George III silver coin is the half crown, as florins were introduced until the 1840s, in Victoria's reign. Now then, the first and oldest George III half crown I have is this one here, from 1817. Now as you've seen, this coin is a true piece of artwork and a very, very beautiful coin to behold in person, as you I'm sure can tell. There is so much going on in this design, it is truly breathtaking to see. We have the St Edward's crown above the Order of the Garter, around the crowned royal Hanoverian shield within the court-of-arms royal shield. There's then roses and patterns and flowers around this, the legend around that, and a mini picture of George slaying the dragon there, St George slaying the dragon, at the bottom of the coin. A lovely, lovely coin, as I said. The milling intact on this piece, and now a new portrait for this video of King George III. This is the bullhead portrait of the king, and is on this coin quite worn, but we can see a more extended neck here, with a sort of rounded head and the laureate in his hair. The legend Georgius III de Gratia, George III by the grace of God, and this coin is from 1817. So far going along, I have the full set of silver coins from 1817, and this one is so far the best by far, I'm sure you'll agree, with a beautiful, beautiful design, and not too badly worn or dirtied over the years, of over 200 years old. The next half crown I have is one from a bit later with an equally stunning design. This coin is a true beauty. Look at that. Similar design features there, but just so good. We have a more wide legend here with the flower row being taken away and the George and the Dragon being replaced by some of the buckle design of the garter. This is a lovely, lovely coin and has toned and coloured really well over these years, with a bit of wear here and here just by being held. To the obverse now, a new portrait of King George III. This is not the bullhead, this is just his later portrait of an 1819 half crown, one of the last years of his coinage. We see here the laureate though can still be seen, facing to the left as always. A big chunky legend around there, George III by the grace of God, with the other legend on this side reading, King of Britain, Defender of the Faith. Another lovely, lovely piece of Georgian sterling silver. Both great coins, these half crowns. The last and largest of the silver coins under the reign of George III is the silver crown, of which I have one here, this lovely, lovely example. A beautiful coin here with the classical portrait of St. George slaying the dragon done by Benedetto Petrucci. We can see the dragon here underfoot of the horse, with St. George on his horse with his helmet and cape and sword, ready to sort of finish the job as this legend and tale tells. Around the coin is the order of the garter we can see here in Latin, inscribing the coin with the buckle at the bottom, and turning it over to the obverse of the coin we can see here a portrait of King George III, that same one from later, as this is a 1820 crown, the last year of George III coins. The legend is mainly worn out, but we can see the word Britanniarum here at the top in very nice condition, as is the portrait, albeit a bit worn. And lastly, the coin is so big it has wording around the rim, and the translation of that is on screen now, if any of you are wondering what it says for the 1820 crown. And this coin, due to the size and just feel of the big lump of sterling silver, just a really good coin to have and feel, coupled with over 200 years of history, as it's 203 years old now. So that is my entire King George III coin collection as of current. I don't have any George III gold coins yet, but I would like to get a fractional farthing at some point, hopefully this year. Please do comment down below your favourite King George III coin in my collection that you just saw today, and of course as well, please do like and subscribe if you've enjoyed watching today's video, and we'll see you soon for more coins on the channel. Bye!